Hello everybody, welcome back to another entry in our Journey Guide series. Today we are going to be going over Padme and her event. I'm going to put this disclaimer out there ahead of time. The Padme event is very RNG dependent, and if you approach this event with under-geared characters, you are going to have a very bad time. The minimum recommended gear level is gear 12. Which when this event came out was the maximum gear level. However, now, if you come into this event with relic levels, you're going to have a much easier time. Relic level 3 is really easy to get once you hit the relic levels, so if you come in with a team with relic level 3, you are going to walk all over this event. So, if you're not feeling confident, go ahead and bump up to relic 3, and you will do absolutely fine. So now we're going to move on to the event itself. I am only going to show you tier 7 of the event because all the other tiers of the event build into tier 7, and the information and the strategy that you learn for tier 7 can be retroactively applied down to the previous tiers. Some of the enemies aren't going to be in those tiers, so you can just ignore that part of their strategy, but tier 7 is going to be the one I'm going over. Now, for this event, there are 2 teams that you are really going to want to have, and either one will do an amazing job against them. The first is the General Grievous Droids team. So you're going to want to have all of your Separatist droids up and ready to go. Now, you might be thinking, but J-Man, all the assists from B1 and Droidica, all that's going to generate so much protection up. And you're right, but the droid team is capable of doing so much consistent damage that you're just going to override that protection up anyways. It's also kind of like the unofficial team for this event, because this event came out right alongside the Separatist droid rework and releases, so they're kind of perfectly tailored for this event. So let's go ahead and get to the battle and show you what's going on here. So, if you're using General Grievous droids, the most important part of this is going to be making sure your Magna Guard is fast and incredibly tanky. And this will go the same for when you do the General Anakin Skywalker event. You want to make sure that your Magna Guard is incredibly fast and really tanky. You want a lot of health, a lot of protection on him. I don't have those mods on him from the gas event anymore, but really healthy, really protection-y, and really fast. You want him fast because anytime Magna Guard uses an ability, he will taunt. And with B1, you just regenerate Magna's health and protection, and in theory, Magna should just be an eternal taunt for your team. And yeah, let's get going. Alright, so they're going to do their opening salvo here, and look at that. Magna Guard is taunting now. That's fantastic. We're off to a good start. B2 is going to be your biggest help on this team because of his reactive protocol. 40% chance to reduce cooldowns by 1 whenever a Separatist ally is evaded or damaged. Whenever that's the rest not important. And then a chance to get 100% turn meter whenever an ally is evaded or damaged by an attack. And the target locked enemies have minus 25% crit chance and evasion. So between these 2 passives, your ability to use mow down here is going to be pretty consistent, and this is going to be the most important ability probably from your entire team that you're going to be using, because you remove all positive status effects from enemies, which protection up's a positive status effect. So look at that, we just removed everyone's protection up with the exception of the locked ones. The locked ones are fine. We do enough damage, we're going to get around them. And look, we can mow them down again. And it doesn't matter if no one has any buffs up or they don't have protection up. because of the high chance of just instantly resetting this cooldown. So we're going to spam this attack again. Boom, look at that. Alright, we want to make sure that we are taking care of Mace Windu, Padme, and Jedi Vanguard first. Those three are our big threats. I personally hate Mace Windu in this event, and in the Geonosian Dark Side Territory battles, because in both he does some bullshit with his Shatterpoint, which is not in the base kit, and he's going to do a lot of high damage and armor shred to anyone that he Shatterpoints. So we need to get him out first, so we don't have to deal with that. We need to get rid of Jedi Vanguard first, because he can just resurrect any Jedi ally. He's basically Jolie Bindo. The joke is to call him Jolie Fishdo. And then we want to get rid of Padme, because without Padme, they don't get the protection up, and she cannot be revived by Jedi Vanguard since she's not a Jedi. So those are going to be our three primary targets. So we're going to want to recover Magna Guard first. I don't like how low my B2 is. He's also important, so I'm going to recover him. Everybody gets hit. Nobody has buffs up right now. I'm going to go ahead and put Droideka into here, recover his protection. He's not going to go into assist mode, which will grant the permanent protection ups, but it's okay because we can out damage them. Now we're going to use Magna Guard Stunning Strike, dispel all buffs, and then stun them for one turn. We're going to try and keep Mace from Shatterpointing somebody, but because I'm an idiot and I forgot, protection up when Padme is the leader means that they cannot suffer negative status effects. So that was just a wasted part on my turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit everybody with Grievous Wounds. We're not gonna get the target lock on them because that's a negative status effect, but it is an area of effect. So boom. Alright, we're gonna recover Magna Guard health. Remove everyone's buffs. We got Shatterpoint out. Alright, and now Mace Windu is nice and vulnerable. I'm going to use Destructive Armament, which is going to do true damage to Mace Windu here, and he's going to get additional damage for each stack of charge that he's got. And our boy over here is sitting on 7 stacks, so this is hopefully going to do some damage. Yeah, look at that. Boom! Followed up, double tapped him to death. Alright. Stop, stop, stop. Alright. We're going to recover Magna Guard health protection. And hopefully Mace goes down in a turn or two. So now, because Mace has a negative status effect in this Grievous's turn, we're going to use Skittering Horror. Because Mace is suffering a negative status effect, the target was already debuffed, they lose 10% of their max health, which can't be resisted, and Grievous gains 10% max health for the rest of the battle. So we're going to make our Grievous stronger by making their Mace weaker. Boom. Alright. What do I want to do? Dispel all debuffs? Yes, that's going to get rid of my Shatterpoint on Magna Guard. And let's see if we can't target Jedi Vanguard with this to try and get rid of him. Nope. The assist from B1 and Droideka gave him the protection up. Recover Magna Guard still since he's taunting and we need him up to take damage for the team. Alright, we have gotten rid of Padme. It's all downhill from here. We can just basically do whatever we want now, because they're not going to be getting protection up anymore. She can't be revived by Jedi Vanguard. Let's just mow everybody down here. There goes Mace Windu, fantastic. There goes Anakin, fantastic. And then there goes Vanguard, fantastic. And Kenobi is just dead. There we go. A bit rocky from time to time there, but we managed to do it. General Grievous droids, definitely recommend as the team you should take into this event. And, you know, let's take a look again. You know, my B2 was only gear 11, but my Relic 6 Magna Guard was able to just tank everything because of how much health and protection he had, because he's coming into the event at a higher gear level than was in the game when this event came. So definitely take advantage of relic levels and abuse mechanics of the event like that. And now this is the other team that I would recommend taking into this event. And you might be thinking, J-Man, that looks really weird. I don't quite understand what's going on in this team, and you're right. The synergy here is not immediately obvious. However, it all comes down to buff removal. And with this team composition, it's incredibly important that you put Newt Gunray in the lead and you have his lead maxed out. Because what we're taking advantage of here is that when an enemy ends their turn with extortion, they dispel their own buffs and grant extortion to another random enemy that doesn't have it. The goal is going to be to get this extortion spread around as fast as we can and have Padme and her team dispelling their own protection up at the end of their turns. And now that we know dispelling buffs is the secret to our team here, I think it's all going to make a little more sense. We have Asajj, her middle ability will dispel debuffs. We have B2 for the same reasons that we just used him in General Grievous droids. He's because all those chances and resets trigger on Separatist allies, not just droid allies. So we're putting him in here, and he should still have the same effectiveness that he did last time. Geonosian Spy, his middle ability, will do 40% more damage for each status effect on the enemy and himself that is removed for the attack. And you can do outstanding numbers of damage with him. And then General Grievous, just because General Grievous is so good. While he does not have buff dispel himself, his ability to stun with Skittering Horror and the gaining health that he's going to get from that, that's why we're keeping him in this lineup instead of putting in one of the other characters. If you don't have one of these characters, the only character I would recommend swapping out is Geonosian Spy. I would keep the rest of these four because they're just... Asajj is so good. Just on her own in general, she's a really good character who can keep herself alive with her heal and her ability to off defense down, and then gaining offense on character death. So like, she needs to stay. She'll be great. General Grievous, stay. Is going to be good. Newt Gunray has to stay, obviously, for the lead. And then B2 needs to stay because without him, you are not going to be able to remove your buffs anywhere near as much. So if you don't have Geospy, which you should, because you should be raising your Geonosians for territory war for the guilds. If you don't have a usable Geonosian Spy, other people that I would recommend are Jango Fett, because Newt is a Separatist lead. Jango is going to start out for 2 turns with damage immunity, so that will give you 2 free turns of a character not losing any health protection, so that's going to pay off. Also, his conflagration ability to apply burn on the entire team and have them reducing their health like that is also going to be very nice, as well as his shrapnel blast to put healing immunity and stagger on some enemies. That's going to be a good one to have too. I would, if you don't have him, you could put in Count Dooku. With his shock, he's going to keep people from gaining protection up and stun them. With Riposte active, he will be going under all the massive amounts of protection that Padme and her team has. So with Dooku, it doesn't really matter how much protection they have, since you could just poke underneath of it and get them like that. Or put Magna Guard in again. This team, as we can tell, does not have any real tanks on it, so it's not going to be quite as well defended as General Grievous Droids was, but you'll see that we will really not be behind a buff wall like we were with General Grievous Droids. So we're going to go ahead and try this team out now. I've had mixed, I don't want to say mixed success, because you can beat this event with this team. You'll notice my Newt Gunray is gear 10, and a gear 11 B2 will feel the damage we kind of saw in the last run, where he was one of the two that I was needing to heal constantly. But we don't have a dedicated tank here, so we're just taking that risk. Alright, they're going to get their opening salvo off. That's going to trigger B2. We're going to go ahead and mow down all of the nice buffs that they just got. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Alright, so now we are going to put extortion out on a character. And a little secret that I've discovered. It's not guaranteed, but a very large majority of the times, if you put extortion on a character who's just about to take their turn, like their turn meter is almost completely filled, like Padme right here, if you put extortion on a character who is just about to take their turn, a very large majority of the time, they will immediately dispel it and use their turn to give you profit, which is going to benefit everybody but General Grievous on this team, because his attacks are already based on his health. If they don't take their turn to go ahead and dispel extortion, then they're going to automatically, at the end of their turn, lose their buffs and give it to somebody else. So either way, it's a win for you. You're either getting more offense because of your health for the characters, or they're hurting themselves. So we're going to go ahead and give this to Padme. And we're in a great setup here, because now I'm going to try and use Skittering Horror to stun Padme, which will make her unable to dispel extortion, which means that she will lose her buffs and automatically pass it on. It did not take. Now we're going to use Asajj to get rid of all these buffs. Alright, there goes my undergeared B2. It's not quite game over, but it's going to hurt going on. But because she kicked, she did not get rid of extortion, so she passed that on. So, what the hey? Let's just try stunning her. All right, cool. It took that time. All right, Geo Spy is under stealth, which is fantastic. That's going to synergize with his middle ability here. If Spy is stealth, and this ability is used to spell all status effects on himself and the target and deal 40% more damage for each effect dispelled this way, can't be evaded. So while it is a shame I just put extortion on Padme, with her 2 status effects and then the 1, that's 120% more damage. So let's see if we can't just finish. Well, we're going to expose her first, get that extra damage out. Yeah, now we've gotten potency up and expose. We got another 80% on there. We're up to 200% damage. Let's just finish her off. Fantastic. It's all downhill from here. Because she can't be revived by Jedi Vanguard. Oh, we can't get around the taunt for now, but what we'll do is use this ability over here to get defense down for 2 turns. She's also now, because of her passive, a little bit stronger because B2 is dead. Yeah, we weren't expecting her to finish anybody off there. We just wanted the defense down. We're still taunting because of Kenobi, but we've got Skittering Horror, so let's go ahead, stun, get some health, nice. Can't do anything, gotta attack Kenobi. Alright. now we're going to try and stun Mace Windu here. Didn't take, but since Windu's a priority target, we need to go after him anyways. Look at that. Grievous's bonus turn triggered because of his Zeta, because... who was that? Newt died. So we're going to go ahead and Skittering Horror again. Yep. Can't get rid of the taunts. So you see what I mean about how, since we don't have a tank, our team is a lot more vulnerable here. But we haven't suffered anywhere near as much as being behind the buff walls. Too bad she was healing immunity. Alright, this is coming down to that RNG factor. I was not really able to do a lot of targeting against Mace Windu, and mainly because Padme just made herself such a great looking target this time. So that's a wipe there. So we will have to try that again. But the strategy for this team is sound. It's just the RNG factor that comes into it. So we mow down. Do that since we can't get around the taunt yet. Again, almost filled. We're gonna extort him. Can't get around the taunt still. Get rid of the taunt. And look at that, because he didn't dispel it, now Mace Windu's got it. We're stealthed with a spy. I hate Windu, so let's see what we can do. We got it exposed, we got 2, 4, there goes his protection. We do not want to use this ability right now. We do not want to call everybody on Mace Windu, despite how much I'd like to, because he's just going to get so much protection. So we're just going to shoot him. He's got protection up, so he can't be stunned. He also can't be defense down. Same for everybody here. So we'll just burn this. Oh, look at that. We got the stun landed. We're going to go ahead. Skittering Horror, get that health. Buy B2. It was nice for you to stop by. Another Skittering Horror on him. Oh, this is going to be another wipe as well. And this is that RNG showing up again. There's no predictable pattern to their attacks or anything like that. And since we don't have Magna Guard to taunt for us here, we're just at the mercy of everybody. We're going to take advantage of its expose on Kenobi and Skittering Horror. And now everybody has extortion. So it doesn't matter who we put it on, we just need to put it on somebody, and we're going to put it on Mace Windu because screw Mace Windu. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Spell their buffs, heal. I have had plenty of times where Visage is the only character that survives this because of her viability. This is not so good. Yep. Alright, we're going to try this one more time, but we're going to trade out Geo Spy for... just for the sake of time, let's use Magna Guard. Ooh, that's a shame. We did not get Magna Guard to counterattack and get his taunt out. And B2 also did not trigger, so we can't remove buffs immediately. So we're a little bit behind here. For lack of options, let's just basic attack Windu here. Right now we can remove everyone's buffs. It's almost Windu's turn, so I'm going to try Extort. And let's see if we can't stun him and force the Extort spread. Yeah, we did it. Mission accomplished, boys. With buff immunity, he won't be getting protection at the moment. Let's see if we can't keep Padme from dispelling the buffs, so we're going to use Stunning Strike, and it took. Fantastic. Let's get defense down on everybody since we don't have anything we really need to remove. Beautiful. Alright. And Skittering Horror here. And because Newt is gone, we get a free turn. Let's Skittering Horror again. Reactive Protocol. Alright, so are we seeing here again another example of how RNG is just so prevalent in this event, where we've had good openings and we've had not good openings, and you know, we've had good attacks against Mace and Padme in some runs and not so good in others. So even if you, again, even if you are ready for this event, it is quite possible that it's going to take a couple of runs. Let's dispel debuffs so we can get... There we go. Having this buff immunity on Kenobi is also doing us wonders, since he's not getting his taunt up. Because now there's protection up on Windu, let's dispel those. Alright. Spam that because you should. Alright. Anakin is becoming a thorn in my side really fast. I should take out that. Alright. Finish off Windu. Alright, Anakin, after I kill the Vanguard, you are next, sir. Stop that. Good. Stop. Stop. Fantastic. No, 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 no! Oh, good. Remove buffs. Kill the Vanguard. Alright. And finish off Kenobi. That really can't be evaded, that's why I used that there. Alright, so here we go. We did 3 different battles with 3 varying rates of success every time. And, you know, even with that dedicated tank, we did do better, but because of just how heavy RNG is in this event, you'll get a different result every time you do it. Even running General Grievous droids, you play this at tier 7 multiple times, you're going to get a different result every time. So just, you gotta be aware of that. Don't be discouraged if you fail or if things were going your way, but they're suddenly not. This was just the first event that brought RNG dependency into these events, and it's only going to get worse from here as we cover the newer and newer events. So you just prepare yourselves for that. But other than that, those are the 2 teams that I think you should use for this event: General Grievous droids and that Newt-led buff removal mixture. So hopefully you guys will not suffer as much as I and the other people have had to do with this event. So hopefully this works out well for you guys. I look forward to seeing a lot of Padmes joining our guilds real soon.